I'm the social worker. Yes.
Yeah, hi.
Okay. Yeah, I just got your message. Forwarded me your message. I'm over your spouse's case. Unfortunately, I just came in. This is my first day back from being on vacation, and I'm not familiar with the case yet. I haven't been on the unit yet, but I wanted to talk to you to see if I can get some information where I can relate it to the doctor when I get into staffing.
Absolutely. Thank you for calling me. I was really concerned about the 72-hour hold and any events that would occur after that would have a very serious impact on what happens next with. Um,
Uh-huh.
he's been hospitalized 12 times in eight
In
years.
this year or
Eight
in
years.
8 years?
Three times this year.
Okay.
The
Three
last
times
time,
this
yeah, the
year.
last time was 4.5, 5 weeks ago. He has been getting progressively worse with more psychosis, delusions, and hallucinations daily. Um, and the hospitalization events have become shorter and shorter. I mean, more frequently, closer together. And now it's
Mm-hmm.
5 weeks. Um, Working with this doctor, who's doctor out of Delamo. Um,
Okay.
Working with doctor and his sister and his mother and myself. Um, we've all in agreement and feel that it's time for us to really get long-term care that he needs.
And when
Um,
you say long-term care,
he needs to be
what do you have in
institutionalized.
mind?
He has to be institutionalized. Got to go to court. Got to get the conservatorship or appointed whatever. I already spoke with the county
Mm-hmm.
on the department that does that. Um, his doctor's on board with it. I'm definitely on board with it. His family's on board with it. He doesn't have any other family in California except me, and
Okay.
I have to work or we don't
Mm-hmm.
have a house.
Got it.
He has tried to light the house on fire. He has. No, I can't even begin to tell you. When I got home last week, 3 days after he was released from the Delamo, he had put all our furniture out on the curb because he was giving it away because the angels told him that he couldn't have that kind of furniture.
The angels?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I woke up at 1 a.m. with him 18 inches from my face saying, I'm going to kill you. That startled me.
Yeah.
And I got up and I followed him and I tried to talk to him. And he said, well, that wasn't me talking. And I said, well, who was talking? He says, well, I'm just a messenger. I said, well, who's the message from? He goes, I can't tell you. And that's when I went
Mm-hmm.
downstairs and I called 911 and all that. And I had him taken to all of you and all of you transferred him to you. My concern is
Got it.
the
Mm-hmm.
72-hour hold. I know sometimes the process takes a little bit to get a conservatorship and institutionalization. However, as much a danger as he is to himself, I mean, he wasn't eating, he wasn't taking his medicine because it wasn't right. And then it's a cycle. It's been the exact same
Okay,
cycle.
hold on. You
Yes.
said he wasn't eating. How long was he not eating?
Well, if define eating, I mean, he was eating crackers for days. He wouldn't eat any other kind of food, and I know by definition that's food. But
Okay.
eventually he would stop eating that too.
And then the medication, you said he stopped taking his medication.
He stopped taking the medication like the day after he left the hospital.
Okay, what do you know about his medication? Do you know what medication works well with him or doesn't work well
We
with
really
him?
don't know because he's never given it a try. Every time he's been
For
on
the
it,
whole 8 years?
yes.
Uh-huh.
Every time he's
Okay.
tried it, 2 to 3 weeks he's off of it. Or 2 to 3 weeks he self-medicates about how he's going to take it, when he's going to take it. And eventually he's off track and, there's levels for the medication are not right. And, 2, 3 months, 4 months down the road, he has an episode. And he's had episodes
Okay.
all over, not just here. We traveled to visit family. And while visiting the family, he had episodes.
When was he first diagnosed with, what was he diagnosed with eventually?
In 2008.
2008.
It was his first break with me, and he was diagnosed bipolar schizophrenic.
Okay.
We've been together for 14 years. The last 8 years have been absolutely unimaginable for me because the level of stability has been, days, sometimes hours. If I'm lucky, I get a week of him doing okay. He hasn't worked since 2008. He was in SAG and
Okay.
Screen Actors Guild. He was doing commercials. He was on 3.5 Men. He's been on shows. He writes music for some of the shows. I mean, he was doing okay. He was going to school part-time before that, too. He hasn't done anything. He spends 15 hours on the internet, posting ramblings on Facebook. Most of his family has blocked him, and they've told me, we can't read this. It's just crazy. How come he's not in the hospital? And that's not, well, he was released. He's doing better, blah, 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 blah.
And You're saying that you guys are working on starting to file in the paperwork for conservatorship,
Well,
or I'm kind of
the hospital has to, Kendall has to do it because that's where he is.
okay. So I have to talk to the doctor, and from there I have to see what they're comfortable with because
Well,
as of right now,
I know.
if he
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm not familiar with the case. I have to go over with the doctor. And as of right now, usually if he presents well, he's taking his medication, and there's no behavior, it's just we can't keep him.
Well,
However,
go ahead. No, I'm sorry. Go
however, I can just talk to the doctor and see what they're comfortable with, and maybe we can have like a meeting or something
We
where
could do that. And if you want to bring in regular doctor that's been treating him from Del Amo, fine. I mean, he's, like I said, he's on board about getting him institutionalized for a while. Now,
Okay.
if the hospital's not comfortable doing that,
Mhm.
I've reached a point where I'm really close to filing a restraining order and going through a divorce process. And he's
So
going to end up
you
on the
guys
street.
are
We're legally
I'm
married.
sorry, you legal married. Okay, got
Yeah,
it.
we're legally married. He has no place to go.
Okay.
If he doesn't get the care as we're saying that he needs, and not only me but his family, he has a history. His whole family has history. Every is bipolar, schizophrenic, or has some severe mental health illnesses. I traced it all the way back, his great grandpa. But my frustration level, it's been 8 years.
Yeah, I get it.
And when I
Yeah.
found out,
Mhm.
I understand the hospital's reluctance. However, if I need to take very serious action to ensure that he gets the right health care he needs, because 8 years is a long time to be lost in space.
Yeah.
It's a long time what he's done to me.
Mhm.
I have recordings of him. I recorded as recently as just when he was picked up, of the ramblings, of the talking to the spirits, of talking to the angels, of hearing voices, acting as a medium, seeing people turn into reptiles. It just goes on and on and on.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Have you ever attempted to, or like had suicide ideations, attempted to take his own life?
Yes, he's
Have
done
you-
that several
but-
times. Twice while he's been with me.
Several times.
And he
Twice.
first had some kind of psychotic break in '92 when he was younger. His father raped him at 16. He has very severe psychological trauma that he's never been counseled with, never been to therapy. I've tried. I've even scheduled therapy. I've shown up to therapy sessions without him because he wouldn't go, asking what I could do. And the basic answer is, well, he's an adult, he's outside, he doesn't have to come, he doesn't want to come. Okay, fine. And then we go back through the cycle again. 3 or 4 months, he's back in the hospital again. And he's crying because his father raped him, or he loves his father because he's one of the best fathers in the world. And then there's a time when he calls me his father. He calls me by his father's name. We haven't been intimate in almost 4 years because he's not stable, and it's hard, when he has looked at me and said that, oh, you're my father. Like, no, I don't want to be the man that raped you at 16.
Yeah.
Okay, I know it's not you realizing that, but okay, it's hard for me now, and you're not getting any better, and it's been going on and on and on.
Is his father still living?
Yeah.
Okay. Does he have a current relationship with his father, or
No,
It's
no,
kind of weird.
No,
Oh, no.
he sued his father in 2000.
He sued him.
He sued him for
Okay.
for damages of what happened to him, and he won the lawsuit.
Mhm.
He legally changed his name from his mother's name. He did not want to have anything to do with his father. Nothing.
Okay.
When he's going through these psychosis, he doesn't have a clue about what's happening really around him.
Okay.
2 years ago, he thought he was being followed. He was driving.
You or him?
Him.
Okay.
He was driving. He got scared because he thought he was being blocked in to be taken and organs harvested. He said that. So he pushed the car in front of him out of the way with his own car. Okay.
Mr. I have a question
Yes.
coming up.
Please.
You said he sued his father, and he won.
Correct.
That takes a lot of functioning in the sense to, sue someone and actually win. And was he on his medication during that process, or
he
no?
didn't-
Like
he
it was
didn't-
just
He did not have any medication. I met him in 2001. He was
Okay.
borderline alcoholic. After about a year, he was off the alcohol, and he was doing fine. And that's when he started, doing some acting, doing some stuff, writing music. Things were fine. And then in June of 2008, I get a call from him. I don't know where I'm at. Can you help me? And I said, where are you? And he told me, and he goes, I'm not feeling well. I said, okay, you want to come to the hospital? And he drove himself to the emergency center. I met him there. He didn't know me. He didn't know where he was, what he was doing. The doctor evaluated him and said, we've got to, commit a 5150. I said, okay. I said, what's happening? And that's when I first learned, where they were trying to figure out what is going on. And they told me that he, bipolar, possibly 1, possibly 2. We don't know yet because he wasn't exhibiting schizophrenia episode or displaying schizophrenia. He was in for 7 weeks, I think. The first 2 weeks he was walking around, did not know who I was, did not know where he was, just walking in circles. I thought I'd lost him forever. No one in my family has any mental health history. I know more about mental health now than I care to know about.
Yeah,
Digging through his
I
history,
understand.
being an advocacy for
Mhm.
him, fighting the insurance companies to get him the right medications, fighting him to take the right
Mhm.
medications.
Yeah.
And then from 2008, he's been hospitalized every year, and some years twice, and now 3 times. This is the first time he's been hospitalized 3 times in 1 year, and they're occurring more frequently and closer together.
Okay. So I'm going to head into the staffing, which starts at 9,
Okay.
and I will express the concerns. I will give them a thorough background information because I write everything you're saying down, and also to express that you guys, as a family unit, want to place him on conservatorship,
Correct.
and I will see what the doctor says and what they're comfortable doing, and I will give you a call back later on in this day. Just to see, or how I can do both. I'll do both. I will actually maybe have the doctor give you a call and see.
That'd be fine, yeah.
Uh,
And I'll be at the hospital
and
this
then,
afternoon. I'm going to drop off some clothes and cigarettes that he asked for.
okay, perfect.
But if you could let the doctor know, and please understand, I'm at my complete end of my
Oh,
wits and patience to some degree,
okay.
because it's just a revolving circle for him in the hospital. It's a
Mhm.
revolving hell for me at home,
Okay.
because he's not functioning. And he's yelling at me, he's calling me a whore, a liar, different names. I go
Mhm.
into abuse, and I work 12, 13 hours a day. I don't need to hear that. For the last 8 years, I've been hearing that. If the
Yeah.
doctor doesn't feel comfortable, I need to understand clearly why he's not comfortable and what his concerns are. And
Okay.
if he is released because it's a comfort or their diagnosis or a sense that he's better, he's going to be compliant, because he says all this. He knows what to say to get out.
Mhm.
If he follows that and understands that and said this, he better double check his malpractice insurance, and so will Kendall. We're going to go to town on this
Okay.
one. And if I need to call the media tomorrow to have a media event on the psychiatric industry and how it's functioning, with his medical
Mhm.
records of 12 hospitalizations in 8 years, and a threat to not only me but to people at large, that's going to be a fun
Have you ever
show.
been arrested?
Him?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, he has.
Okay. How
About
many
three
times
times.
have you been arrested?
Me? None.
No.
Him? Three
Okay,
times.
no.
Three
And
times.
then all 3 times, is he currently on probation for?
No, 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 no. He's not. No, he's not. They were all
Okay.
misdemeanors. He was arrested for abuse with me in 2002, but the charges were dropped. That was when he was alcoholic and drinking very much, and we were
And
just
then the
together.
other
And
2 times.
the other 2 times was when he was younger, were juvenile.
Oh, so a juvenile record.
Yeah, they're two juvenile when he was younger. One adult, two juvenile. That
Okay.
I'm aware.
Okay. Again, I'll have to talk to the doctor. Okay.
I
And
totally
then,
understand. And please express to him
and
how concerned I am and how frustrated after 8 years of this. I can't keep leaving work at the drop of a hat because I think he's going to light the house on fire.
mhm.
And he's done that. He thought the sprinkler systems in the house, because our house is new, has sprinklers. He thought they were microphones. He took a cigarette lighter
Mm.
to it to try to see if water would come out because he thought I was lying.
So,
Don't know what he's going to do. We have 4 dogs. When he gets this way, he constantly says they're dying. I need to take care of them. They're dying. I'm going to do something about it. It's like, what the hell do I do? I can't be there
mhm.
24/7 for him. And he's not going to therapy. He doesn't want to go to therapy. He doesn't believe sometimes he's bipolar. Sometimes he does. It's a train wreck. And I think,
Okay.
some time committing him for longer term will help him stabilize sufficient enough that from one day to the third day, he knows what's happening and not little
Mhm.
spurts of it. And he gets the right counseling and therapy to help him
Question.
understand. Yes.
I'm sorry.
That's okay, please.
Before I get
I'm
off the
rambling.
phone.
Sorry.
No. So you want to place him on conservator? Are you willing to be his conservator, or would you want the public guardian office to assign someone
Whichever is
if
easier.
it goes
Whichever is
okay?
easier. I mean, if they feel uncomfortable because of history, fine, I'll do it. If they're comfortable doing it, that's fine. I'd actually prefer that.
Okay. So I just asking these questions where I can have everything kind of all the questions that the doctors ask. I have an answer for.
Absolutely.
And then do you want to take my direct number?
Yeah,
I
please
don't
let me
know
hold
if you
on.
have it.
Okay,
Yeah.
your name is
No. Yes.
okay.
And my direct number is okay. And then again, I'm going to call you later on to see what outcome came out of the staffing, and also I will also ask the doctor if they can maybe call you to
Yeah.
get a little bit more information.
If I'd
Okay.
like to speak to his sister, she's very happy to speak. she would like him to move back and have
Mhm.
treatment there because his whole family's there. His mother, his
Mhm.
sister, nephews, so they could watch him and do better things than I can. I can't.
Okay.
I'm not a retirement age. I can't stop working.
Okay. So and that's the thing too. If it's nothing we can do, that would be like, I guess, our plan B, to see if we can maybe get him on a plane back home with his family, if we can have something set up
If we
where
could,
he can maybe go to like a center or something.
yeah, if
But
that
again,
would work.
we can kind of brainstorm that later and see.
Yeah.
But again, I have to go to the staffing and talk to the doctor about him and see what we're coming up with. Okay.
Totally, I understand, and I've stayed married with him this long because I remember who he was, and I'd like him to get
Mhm.
the care that he needs to either function again in life or get the care that he needs to keep himself from hurting himself or others. I don't want to see him
Okay.
I don't want to see him in Skid Row.
Okay. All right, then, Mr. Brown, I will give you a call back. And again, I'm heading to the staffing right now where the doctor, like our meeting. And then, again, when his name comes up, I will greatly discuss the background history and your concerns and how you really want to start the paperwork of basically conserving him. Okay?
Absolutely, and that's why I was so adamant yesterday about reaching somebody because of the 72-hour clock ticking. And
Okay. So
when he's go ahead.
just to kind of ease your nerves a little bit, okay, so the 72 hours, if basically once, I don't know, so I haven't been on unit yet, so I can't tell you when the hold expires, but what will happen is the doctor, I can convey that, maybe you need to extend the 72-hour hold to a 14-day hold.
Right.
And then from there, that's what will happen. So I will let you know what's going to happen. Again, if something happens where he's discharged, I'm just throwing it out there. He has a PCH hearing. If he has a place to go and he's taking his medication, the hearing officer can discharge him. Okay.
If that happens after everything I've explained, and you don't understand what drove the decision to discharge him, how much observational time they've had with him, and discussions in detail about what he's thinking, feeling, hearing, sensing, how he feels about his medicine. He wasn't taking lithium because he's not a battery. He's associating lithium with battery. Ativan. He wasn't taking Ativan because it's not brand and it doesn't have a cat eye, and he needs cat medication.
He was given Ativan?
Yes, he was given Ativan, lithium. I think that's all he had. Oh, Ambien to help him sleep because of the mania. He wasn't sleeping. And the Ativan, he was completely paranoid and delusional, and the doctor thought, well, maybe this may slow him down a little bit, and things will come into focus, or at least be able to rest, and maybe that'll catch up with him, and things will be better.
Okay.
But if he does happen to get released, and say for some reason they forget to call me, and I get a call saying, "Honey, come pick me up," my next stop is going to be my police station, and file a restraining order, because that's where you get one, against him, and then go to court and go further from that.
Okay.
He is that
All right,
dangerous
then.
to himself, to me right now, and I'm not convinced without, not only the doctor at Kendall, but maybe his full-time doctor in consultation, that they're all comfortable, they really truly understand what's happening, to the level that he is not going to stop taking medication in 2 weeks because he thinks it's poisoning his liver. That's the other thing. I don't know why his liver. He's associating the blood test to check Depakote levels with liver malfunction. The psychosis has got to stop for him to be living a healthy life.
Okay. All right, then. So I'm heading to I have to get off the phone now. I have to go to the staff, but I will try my best. But I'll give you a call, and also I'll try to have the doctor give you a call as well, just to get, your part. I feel like it's different. Yeah. Okay, absolutely. So I'm heading there, and then I will give you a phone call later to let you know what's going on with your husband, so and Okay.
Thank
you. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay.
Thank
Bye.